Grand Rising, everybody. This is Goddess Kendra. I am doing a review on BLAC Chyna Season 1, Episode 3, Guess Who's Coming for Dinner? The full episode of The Real BLAC Chyna Season 1, Episode 3 is in the description link. So the other day, you guys, I did a bomb-ass review, and I forgot to turn up the volume on my device, so you couldn't hear anything, so I'm redoing it again. So as you know, for years, BLAC Chyna and her mother have had a vital, like a horrible ass relationship, and it always ends up with her mother, because that's all I can see is going on social media and doing such things. So after BLAC Chyna's assistant Ashton and her best friend Treasure meet with her mother, at first, it got real out of control. Even Treasure was like, my nigga, you be posting shit on YouTube, talking shit, dog. Blah, 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 blah. Toni act like she wanted to fight her. And then I take it as she's jealous of Treasure and BLAC Chyna's relationship. But after they spat what they had to say, Tokyo Toni said, I love you, and gave Treasure a hug. So Ashton convinced BLAC Chyna and her mother, Tokyo Toni, to meet in a public restaurant. Because think about this. If you meet in a public place, how their initial meet and greet to talk, they can be throwing chairs and shit because they'll go to jail. So as Tokyo Toni walks in, Chyna's already at the table, sitting down. And you could tell she has her defense mechanism up already. So her mother kisses her. And then it gets quiet. So then her mother starts to say stuff. So she was like, you know, I'm sorry for the things that I have said to you. I am sorry for my antics. I'm going to be 50 next year, so I don't know if this show was shot in 2018 and it came out now, because you know that all reality TV is shot like a year to 7 months before we see it. So she's like, you know, I'm sorry for the things that I've done. And you could tell BLAC Chyna had her defense mechanism up. So she says, like, you know, my mother constantly, no, after they go back and forth, Chyna's like, yo, I gotta go to the bathroom. She's like, this is bull fucking shit. This lady's crazy as hell, you know, saying the shit she's saying. Then she comes back, and you could tell, as the conversation to me seems one-sided with Chyna and her mother. Her mother seems like the type of woman who wants to talk but doesn't listen and doesn't give a fuck about how people feel. So she goes to the restroom, then she comes back, and then her mother just like apologizes, I'm sorry. But then Chyna was like, well, my mom says all these nice things. She's like, you know, I don't know if she's calm because we're in public and there's cameras, but I'm not buying what she's saying. So I feel, like I've said before, that Tokyo Toni wants Angela White to take care of her. And I've always said this since I've done my first video. It is not a child's responsibility to take care of their parents. The only way I would take care of my mother or father is if they were very ill and they weren't able to work. Straight up being the truth, God honest truth. So one thing that really upset me was, like, she was talking about the car. Angela stated in like the first or second episode that I still pay on my mother's car to boost my credit. My credit is great. So at the end of the day, she was just basically saying, like Toni was saying, you basically pull the kill switch on the car, and the only way possible to pull a kill switch on any car is if you're late on your payments or you report that motherfucker stolen, so they can kill switch everything where you can't turn it on. So she was like, my mom bought, or Chyna bought me a Mazda. Bro, most people in 2018, unless you make six figures or more, cannot afford to buy their parents a motherfucking car. I wouldn't give a fuck if somebody bought me a 1999 Honda. I am always appreciated. So basically, even Chyna said in previous episodes, my mother always left me for her men. She's always evil as shit to me. And basically, Toni was like, well, you said I was never there for you. Call somebody. Here's a phone. So they ended up just like not even having dinner. She was like, man, it's no point of this. At the end of the day, whenever you're communicating, the first thing is to open up your ears and listen, not try to regurgitate or defend yourself. So my thing is, you cannot continue to say you're fucking sorry to somebody if you keep hurting them and doing bullshit, whatever. The person's like, I don't like when you do this. I don't like when you do this. If you continue to do it, you're not fucking sorry. And at the end of the day, I think it's very weak of Toni to go on social media. I find it very childish to talk about her family issues. Even Chyna don't say shit to her. So how can you be fucked up to somebody, complain when they help you? And plus, Chyna did put Toni in a house. I'm not sure what state it was, but her ass ended up getting motherfucking evicted. The fucking house was dirty as a motherfucker, and somebody recorded the shit and put it on YouTube that she's dirty and nasty, which makes me think, bitch, you're on fucking drugs. Like, say if I told my homie, okay, I'm gonna get you an apartment, but you gotta pay. I put the first month and I put a deposit on electricity. If you don't pay for your shit, my nigga, that's your fucking fault. And Toni is very fucking disrespectful. And I really think either Dr. Phil or Ayana Vansdan, I don't know how to say her name, helps them, because this shit is ridiculous. But see, Chyna said in the last episode, I allow people to hurt me and I deal with shit like that. Like, at the end of the day, I will never in a million years allow anybody to treat me the way Tokyo Toni treats Chyna. If you are not in a space or a time or something in your life where you are disrespectful and causing hell, I ain't got time for that shit. I mean, it's pretty sad. Honestly, for me, I wouldn't be putting my family business out on reality TV, because either way, they both get backlash for it. Chyna's been more quiet about it, but it's sad the way Tokyo Toni sits here and talks to her freaking child. She called her a whore, a dick sucker, a bitch, disgusting, go sucker. Who says these things to their child? Even when my children make me mad, I'd rather be like, babies, get out of my face right now and come back and we can talk. Even when they're being difficult. But she has to realize, you are in BLAC Chyna's house. You can't go disrespecting somebody in the house, because I would tell anybody, get the fuck out my shit. And I've kicked people out of my house like, bro, this ain't a place for you to sleep. You're high. Get the fuck out. My family sleeps in this bitch. You know what I mean? I don't let just anybody in my house because of energy like that. Thank you for hearing my review. Again, the full episode of season 1, episode 3 of The Real BLAC Chyna is in the link description. Also, please subscribe, comment, share, and hit that notification button. Peace and blessings.